Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here on ZSN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Toronto Raptors tonight. Guys, what a great win for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, guys. This was a big win for them. Finally, they got a big win to achieve something with their reckless and horrible plays that we've been seeing from the Lakers for the past 3 games. It has been nothing but horrendous to watch at times, but the Lakers showed up finally in a game that needed to get a win, and the Lakers needed to get this win because now they're going to go on an 8-game road trip. So I'm a bit skeptical, a bit questionable of how the Lakers could pull it off for a potential win on the roads and how they will win it. But surprisingly, they went up against the Raptors tonight, and the Raptors, they're not a scrub team. I mean, they are a really good team, but the Lakers somehow managed to get this win, and surprisingly, all because of the efforts that we saw from our star players, especially our rotational players. I just kind of wish we can kind of see it from a normal basis from our Lakers team, when it comes all said and done. So, I hope we can see more out of it from the Lakers more moving forward, especially now going into the road trip. But at the end of the day, the Lakers, they still had to make a trade. They still had to make some moves to improve the team, better rotational players, add some defense to the team, whatever they need to do to improve the team still, no matter how good they played tonight, especially in the second half, with LeBron James leading the helm in the fourth quarter. I believe last time I checked, it was like 4 minutes left remaining, and the Lakers were in an 18-point game to the Raptors' 4-point game. So it was a really good performance by the Lakers in that particular moment in the game. And it was pretty awesome to watch, finally, to step up and show up in this game tonight. But I just hope they can obviously do so every single game moving forward. But it's still a question mark. It's still a problem. There's still some problems with this Lakers team, no matter how good they play tonight. So hopefully they just get that resolved, hopefully very soon. But let's celebrate tonight with a good win tonight for the Lakers, beating the Raptors 110 to 109. Sorry, 110 and 93, excuse me. It was a really good game for the Los Angeles Lakers. And we're going to go down the stats of tonight's game, what we saw from tonight's game from the Lakers. But before anything, like always, please be sure to like this live stream. Of course, follow me all across social media. Facebook, Instagram, X. I'm also on TikTok and Threads as well. So please be sure to follow me all across social media. I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's read some of these comments that are coming in from Daniel. Daniel, you're the OG, man. I really appreciate it for you joining me last night when it came to my Denver Broncos win against the Buffalo Bills to advance to the AFC Championship. Really looking forward to that. It sucks that we lose our quarterback in Bo Nix to an injury at the end of the game, but I just hope this time around when my Denver Broncos go up against our rival in the New England Patriots, excuse me, when it comes down to it, facing them in the AFC Championship round next Sunday. I'm really looking forward to that. So I really can't wait to see what they are capable of being with Jared Stidham, who will obviously, hopefully, try to pull off a Nick Foles moment in the AFC and hopefully in the Super Bowl if we do reach that, if we get past the Patriots. But we just have to wait and see. Hopefully the defense shows up and dominates and just go helm against the Patriots on Sunday, next Sunday, hopefully. So really looking forward to that. But much needed win. Absolutely. I agree with you on that, Daniel. Absolutely. Go Lakers. And good job for the Rams. The Rams beat the Bears in the divisional round of the NFC. So it was a really good win for them. Obviously, those of you who know me by now, my second favorite team is the LA Rams. So it's good to see them, getting the wins under their belt and going to the AFC, no, sorry, the NFC championship round. Obviously, I'm not a fan of the Seahawks, so apologies ahead of time. I hope the Rams do beat the Seahawks because, as much as I want the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl, I really don't want them to face the Seahawks in the Super Bowl because they are a really good team, especially on the defensive side. So, and for some reason, Sam Darnold, he just flipped the script on his career, man. He has been great to watch for the Seahawks. So, what a good turnaround career for Sam Darnold. But obviously, when it comes all said and done, I really hope the Rams show up in the NFC Championship and beat the Seattle Seahawks in that round. So hopefully, so rooting for the Rams, obviously, to make it out. But if it comes down to the Broncos versus the Rams, sorry, Rams, but I'm rooting for my Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. I'm a diehard Broncos fan. I bleed orange and blue, and I just root for my favorite team. So it sucks to see my second favorite team. If they do get past the Seahawks, go up against my Broncos. If they do end up going to the Super Bowl, I'm going to root for my Denver Broncos. So apologies ahead of time for all of you, but it is what it is. But if they do end up beating my Broncos in the Super Bowl, I'll also be celebrating internally, when it comes down to that. So I don't know. We just have to wait and see. So other than that, good game from the Rams side and also from the Lakers side from this game tonight against the Raptors. It was an awesome turnaround for the Lakers and finally showing up, as I mentioned. It has been horrible to watch the Lakers play games for the past couple of weeks. It has been very sad to watch, and it just screams out that changes needs to happen from all sides, from especially the defensive side, especially which is the number one priority. If the Lakers are going to make a trade, they have to because it's just not looking good. It's not looking good, and they have to make a change happen very soon. So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully. Um, but let's get right into the stats of tonight's game. It was a really good turnaround for the Lakers after just not playing well for the past couple of games, and finally some players tonight showing up. They absolutely did, especially when it came to the second half. The first quarter went pretty well for the Lakers, but the second quarter kind of slipped away from them a bit until like they were up by. It was either the Raptors or the Lakers. Somebody was up by 2 points at the end of the game of the second quarter. But going into the second half, they just battled pretty well in the third. And then LeBron James and DeAndre Ayton and the rest of the crew showed up in the beginning of the game in the fourth quarter and just took a huge lead after that. So it was a really good lead, and the Lakers just ended up just getting the win in convincing fashion in the fourth quarter, which I really, really want to see more often from this Lakers team every single game. But it's just the lack of effort that we see from our key players and our rotational players like DeAndre Ayton and obviously Jake LaRivia and just some key players that are just not showing up to help the Lakers out when it comes down to the priorities at hand. And obviously with no Austin Reeves yet, and just the lack of defensive efforts is what's really hurting the Lakers. And once we get Austin Reeves back, I think things will get better. But still, we need to improve defensively when it comes all said and done. It needs to be improved when it comes all said and done. So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully a trade happens soon that will help us out in a big way. But it's just one of those type of situations where it's just a waiting game and waiting for Rob to make a potential move. So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully it happens really soon. Hopefully. So, but let's get down to the stats of tonight. Obviously, there's a lot of player of the games that I have to say really showed up. But if I had to give it to somebody, I would have to give it to, surprisingly, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton showed up for this Lakers team finally, and there's been nights where he hasn't, and it's just been pretty pitiful to watch at times. But at the same time, I mean, there is some on occasion where he does put up 20 points per game and 11 to 15 rebounds a game, and it's just those type of performances that he puts up, that's how we win games. When he shows up and put up numbers like that, we win games that way. It's been a pattern. Every time he averages 20 or 15 or double digit performances, we win games that way with him showing up. And he did so tonight. And he gets to player of the game, when it comes to my opinion of what we saw from tonight's game. And it's because of DeAndre Ayton performing the way that he did against the Raptors and just getting us this win with the help of LeBron and Luka Doncic as always. But it was because of his efforts that we also won this game when it came down to it. So great job out there from DeAndre Ayton, 25 points, went 10 of 10 from the field. Awesome performance in that area of his game, having 13 rebounds out there tonight with one block. And he had a plus 20 positive rating in this game. So obviously he went home in the field, going 10 to 10 from the field. So, he had a perfect game performance out there tonight. I just wish we could see that on a normal basis, as I mentioned. So hopefully this is a sign that once we head on this road trip, this A-game road trip, that DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRivia, Marcus Smart, and the rest of the crew from Rui Hachimura off the bench shows up and dominates. Everyone in their own field in their own role, excuse me, in the on the road trip when it comes all said and done. Hopefully, because we need to obviously get this win. As much wins as we can by the time we reach the trade deadline, and hopefully the return of Austin Reaves, hopefully soon. But it's just a really interesting situation, of how things are going to look for the Lakers once they head on the road. Um, I think that we're going to see the similar mistakes that we've been seeing from the Lakers for the past couple of games before this one, that they are going to not show up at times. But if it's a miracle and we see some performances that we saw from DeAndre Ayton and just a couple of players here and there showing up that will help us win games, then I can probably say that we are finally back. When it comes to efforts from our team, but we just have to wait and see. It's still a question mark of this Lakers team and how it's constructed at this moment. But I still think we need to make a trade, as I mentioned. Whoever we need to trade for, we need some improvement defensively, and some players that can play their role on the team. So it's just a waiting game type of situation. We just have to wait and see what's on the Lakers' mindset of what type of trades they want to make, and hopefully it will be the better of the team. Hopefully, so. But great job out there from DeAndre Ayton, MVP in my opinion of tonight's game. Great job out there from DeAndre Ayton. Luka Doncic doing his thing as always. 25 points, went 5 of 12 from the three, and averaged around 7 assists a game, and had 1 steal, 1 block out there tonight. So great job out there from Luka Doncic as always, making his return tonight after not playing last night, which obviously hurt the Lakers big time. If he was playing the game, I think we would have possibly won last night, but it just wasn't the case, unfortunately. So, but I'm glad to see his return tonight. LeBron James obviously had an also great performance, especially in the fourth quarter, which was really helpful for him to, get the ball rolling for the Lakers to have a big lead. And it was just a matter of just managing the game that we saw from the Lakers when it came to LeBron James's efforts in the fourth quarter. So great job out there from LeBron James, 24 points out there tonight, went 2 of 4 from the three, had 4 rebounds and 7 assists, and had 2 blocks in the game, which is awesome performance from LeBron James in his area of the game out there tonight. Had a plus 18 performance out there tonight. So, great job out there from LeBron. Jake Larivia, there's struggles on his end, but he did manage to give us 5 rebounds out there, so let's give him credit for that. But he still needs to hopefully get things back together. When it comes to him obviously being the starter now. I mean, sure, Rui is back, and he maybe needs a couple more games to obviously make a healthy return to the starting lineup. But it seems things are probably looking good for the Lakers because of what Jake Larivia brings to the table when it comes to his defensive efforts. But, you know, if it's not working out, then we'll expect to see Rui return to the starting lineup very soon because obviously we need his shooting to really help us out in the starting lineup. And going 0-4 from the three for Jake Larivia is not something that we want to see. But, you know, with the efforts that we saw from DeAndre Ayton just carrying the load a bit for this Lakers team, it was just something that we obviously needed. So, but hopefully we'll see more action from Jake Larivia going on the road for this 8-game road trip that he will show up hopefully on the road. But we just have to wait and see. Let's see here. Obviously, Marcus Smart had 8 points out there. I mean, he's been great for us since Austin Reeves went down with that injury. He's been nothing but sensational to have. Obviously, last night he averaged 25 points. So it was a good efforts that we've been seeing from Marcus Smart as of late. It's just everyone around us needs to show up, like a DeAndre Ayton, like a Jake Olivia. I said this multiple times when I seen the struggles from the Lakers as of late is that we need to see effort from all of our players. It's not just LeBron and Luka that will help us win games and dominate every single game to get us these wins. It's a team effort. Everyone needs to show up, from Jake Larivia, from DeAndre Ayton especially, and then Marcus Smart, and then you have our rotational players with Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, everyone needs to show up. But still, I a trade needs to happen, no doubt about it. Especially when it comes to our rotation, it needs to be much improved when it comes to all said and done. So, hopefully, it happens soon. A trade needs to happen, no matter what. So, hopefully, it happens soon. Our bench players, obviously, Rui Hachimura helping out our bench role with a 10-point game, have went 2 of 6 from the three and managed to go 4 of 10 from the field. No rebounds, no assists, but that's a bit of a question mark for me. But he did his best, coming off the bench with his 10-point game. I think he's still getting his bearings back into play after just playing a couple of games coming off the bench. So hopefully, if he continues to improve and make his return more greater and shows up, I think we will potentially see Rui Hachimura either be returning back into the starting lineup, or he could potentially remain with the bench role because of the lack of depth with Austin Reeves out and just just not having him in the starting lineup obviously really hurts the Lakers. So and the depth wise, so we need to maybe have Rui Hachimura remain in the bench role position to just carry the type of scoring and his abilities to shoot off the bench. So we just have to wait and see how that works out. And you never know, maybe he'll work his way back, but you never know. We just have to wait and see what JJ wants to do. So, but great effort tonight from Rui Hachimura when it came to his 10-point game. But other than that, not the best all around from our rotational players. That's why I just see just the numbers, and it's just it's really lacking. That's why I hope a trade happens soon that will boost our rotational players. There's a lot of options that the Lakers could do when it comes to improving that and just getting some key players that can play their role coming off the bench type of situations. But it's just not looking good. It's not looking good for how the bench looks, and it's just a change needs to happen drastically. When it comes to that. So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully a trade happens soon that we can obviously see more consistency and players playing their role to help us out when it comes to shooting, when it comes to defensive efforts, all across the board. So I'm not sure what's up, Rob Pelinka's sleeve, when it comes to what type of moves he wants to make. but something needs to happen. And if that means we have to sacrifice a first round pick to pull off a trade that will help us out to be competitive in the Western Conference and, help us out when it comes to, getting some help and some players that can play their role in the bench role positions or just in their roles in general, then so be it. Because a change needs to happen, and it's just not looking good when you have players in the bench role positions not playing the role. And you know, Delta Connect, I just think he's done, man. He's done. He's been done, but I just can't believe his trade stock is just not as high as what people are looking at when it comes down to his abilities. But I don't know. Maybe he's just doing that on purpose so he doesn't get traded, or just wants to make things hard for the Lakers to trade him after the whole Charlotte Hornets situation. So I still think it's still affecting the guy. So I think, if anything, you know, hopefully the Lakers can just trade him for like a second round pick or something at this point, because just trade him for assets or something, because it's just not looking good. It's not looking good of what how things are, chemistry wise on the team. So, um, but Gabe Vincent is not working out. You can obviously, the only good thing that's riding on the Lakers is because of these expiring contracts with Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent. It's real easy to get rid of those type of contracts because it's just expiring. So whoever team they want to trade it to, it's real easy to unload those. But it's just depending on what it's out there for the Lakers to make. That would be a great return. But it's a bit of waiting game type of situation. So it's all up to what Rob Pelinka wants to do when it comes down to the trade deadline. So it's a waiting game. But in the past, Rob Pelinka has always pulled up some really good trades that obviously helped us out, aka Luka Doncic. So you never know what's on the sleeves of Rob Pelinka when it comes down to a trade happening very soon. So hopefully they do. Hopefully they do and try to improve the team that way, because it needs to improve no matter how good of a win they got tonight. But there was multiple games like the Charlotte Hornets game, the last night's game. Should have been a couple of wins there for the Los Angeles Lakers, but it's just the lack of efforts and the lack of players playing the role to help us win those games. So, but we kind of finally saw tonight from DeAndre Ayton. Hopefully, we can see some consistency from DeAndre Ayton, from Jake LaRivia, especially when it comes to their efforts on the road and just showing up. So, especially defensively, but we all know that the Lakers' lack of defense is what's really hurting them in the in these games. So, hopefully it happens soon. Like I said, a trade to improve the defensive efforts. So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully. So, but yeah, other than that, guys, I mean, that is my analysis of the Lakers' big win tonight against the Raptors, 110-93. Finally, they showed up in a game where a couple of games they haven't, and it's just been pretty pitiful to watch and sickening at times. That's why you guys haven't seen me gone live for the past couple of live streams for Lakers analysis, because it's just my frustrations and the sickening of what I've been seeing from the Lakers. It's just been nothing but trash to watch. And it's the sad reality. I hate to trash my Lakers that way, but at the same time, guys, it's just been horrible to watch. It's been horrible to watch, and it's just something that they just need to improve. They just need something to get the fixes in play when it comes to the lack of efforts that we've seen, and the lack of things that's what teams are reading at, that seems that they are finally seeing, and that is the lack of defense and just the lack of team chemistry when it comes to the bench role position. So, and DeAndre Ayton not being the player that we were hoping to see, when he joined the Lakers. We saw a couple of times here and there, but half the time when we see it, he's obviously, you know, we're hearing and seeing what the critics have been talking about when it comes to DeAndre Ayton is that he is a guy that is lazy and doesn't show team efforts, and he's always just having trouble in the locker room. I mean, I'm not trying to say that he's doing so with the Lakers. I haven't heard anything about it, but other than that, still we're seeing the type of woes and type of rumors and talks that we heard from the Portland Trailblazers and multiple teams and coaches that he is a lazy player, which I hopefully is not the case. What we saw tonight was awesome, and there's been times when he does average those type of numbers, the Lakers win games. So I just hope that things end up turning better for DeAndre Ayton very soon. So with his efforts that we saw tonight, and maybe hopefully moving forward into the on this road trip, hopefully. So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully he does, and hopefully the Lakers will potentially get the wins that is needed, and hopefully once a trade happens, that maybe we can see some improvement. And by the time that happens, hopefully, maybe we'll see the return of Austin Reeves, and maybe things will get back on track when it comes to how the Lakers would play in the or compete in the Western Conference. So, and I haven't checked the standings as of late, but with the losses that they've been achieving, I hate to put in that type of reference, but it's the reality. I mean, the Lakers really lost some games that should have been winnable ones. The Charlotte Hornets game, the last night's game. I mean, there's multiple matchups where could have thought that the Lakers would have won and beat them, but it's just been hard at times to see how this Lakers team performs every single night with the lack of efforts and the lack of just good rotational players showing up and playing their roles. So, and the Lakers rotation, man, I mean, the bench role players, they're not great. They're not great. I mean, sure, Rui Hachimura is on the bench positions, and Jake O'Leary at one point, and Marcus Smart, but those are the only three guys that I can honestly say are our best players at the moment that can really help us out in the bench role positions. But it still needs to be improved, especially defensively, as I mentioned. So my hope is that a trade happens. We all want a trade happen soon. Hopefully, Rob is doing his homework and seeing what's out there so they can make a trade hopefully soon. And if they can, maybe hopefully at the trade deadline that they can pull something off that will be a huge help, hopefully. But again, it's one of those type of situations where it's like, how long? How long we have to wait that we can make a trade now? So hopefully it happens soon. Hopefully it happens soon, and the Lakers pull off a trade. Rob Pelinka pulls off another magical moment and pulls out a trade that will help us out. That will be an oh my gosh moment that we will say, okay, now we're getting some help and better rotational players and better players on the bench role position that will help us out in a big way. I just hope they don't have to give up a lot to pull that off. But, you know, at this point, hopefully they do soon because I'm tired of seeing the Lakers lose games in sad, disgusting manner. So I hope it happens soon. I hope it happens soon. And the Lakers potentially, go on this road trip with the confidence of, doing what they did tonight and just play their roles and just, show up and dominate and help Luka and LeBron James out to win us some games, hopefully. So hopefully, everyone shows up and just things start to get better for the Lakers moving forward because it's just been very sickening and tiresome to watch. As I mentioned, that's why you guys haven't probably seen me for the past couple of live streams of my Lakers analysis of every post game shows that I go live for, is because of my frustration. And this is the first time in a while, or maybe first time ever on ZSN, that I haven't gone live because of my disgust, frustration of this Lakers team. There have been times in the past, in a couple of years, where I just plowed through and just talk about the Lakers' losses that should have been winnable ones and all that. But it's just getting to a point that it's just pretty disgusting, turn of events, especially when you have LeBron, you have Luka, and just the fact that you have DeAndre Ayton on your team, and it's just like, okay, we can win games that way. I mean, we can win games with him also helping out as a third option with no Austin Reeves, and you have Jake Olivia at times that can average 20 points per game or give you some solid numbers that can help us out. Especially his shooting is very helpful at times. Marcus Smart, what he did last night was awesome as well. So, but you can just tell that the bench role position is just not looking good as a result of the Lakers losing games as well, because them not playing their role and showing up really hurts the Lakers as a team, and the chemistry and all that. So, at this point, it's just a head scratcher, and hopefully things turn out good for the Lakers. Hopefully, very soon, because it's been tough. It's been tough to watch. And apologies, guys, if I haven't gone live because of my anger and frustration. I don't want to keep on showing anger and frustration and just a lack of motivation of just breaking down of the Lakers losses. And it's just been pretty suck to watch at times. So my hope is, as I mentioned, and this is my final conclusion of this live stream of my analysis tonight versus the Raptors, is that the Lakers and the players, they just need to, show up, win games, and dominate, and pull off some easy winnable games moving forward. And by the time hopefully a trade happens, maybe things start to get better, and maybe hopefully the return of Austin Reeves will get much better for sure with the changes, hopefully, but at the trade deadline. But it's a waiting game. We have to wait and see, because I still, like I said, a trade needs to happen no matter what. It has to happen, no matter how great the Lakers play tonight, or no matter how good they will play moving forward, because it's still a problem. It's still a problem what the Lakers are dealing with when it comes to this rotation, and the lack of defensive efforts, and the lack of players playing their roles on the team, and just the efforts especially. Hopefully, I want to see more from DeAndre Ayton, and especially from the game tonight that he put up, double digit type of numbers. That like I said, when he plays double digit numbers, we win games. When he does, he just I don't know why he's not getting it through his thick skull. And here's another thing: the fact that your backup player in Jackson Hayes getting more minutes or finishing the games in fourth quarters because you are not showing the efforts that you're supposed to play in those type of moments, kind of tells you something in big letters, that you need to buckle down and show up and dominate and be the first round pick that you are, and just show up like you did tonight. I'm giving you credit. I gave you MVP of tonight's game. So go ahead, run with it. Hopefully something clicked in your mind that you're going to start playing like this moving forward. But, if not, don't be surprised if you get traded or if you don't get paid in the off season. It's just a reality. It's just a reality. So yeah, guys, I mean, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please follow me all across social media. I really appreciate it. And hit that notification bell and subscribe to ZSN on YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream and the next video. I just hope that the Lakers will, get back on track with the win columns and starts to show some efforts and some team effort. And I'm just going to say this. I have to be consistent with all of you. I really do. So if Lakers do end up going on this road trip and they win or loses, I have to be consistent with all of you, and I have to power through and give my analysis of the Lakers losing games. So I have to, because it's kind of unfair if I only go live when the Lakers win games, and when they don't, I don't. So And when they don't, I don't. So, so I had to be fair here. So hopefully you guys see more from me. Hopefully going into the season, if the Lakers lose games, or or hopefully they win some, so I could be on this live stream more often. So hopefully soon. So and you guys will probably see me if my Broncos, excuse me, will beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship for the Super Bowl. You guys probably see me go live for that if they end up doing so. If not, I'll probably still go live and just give my appreciation of the Broncos and their season and all that. So just stay tuned for that. I will be giving my analysis of my Broncos, postseason performances and another post game shows. So stay tuned for those. I will be going live for those for sure. Um, for my Denver Broncos, and of course for my Lakers as always. So, but it's really important that you follow me all across social media and hit that notification bell and subscribe to ZSN for more content of my Lakers and of course my Broncos as well. So if you love those, hit the notification bell and subscribe to ZSN on YouTube as always. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream and the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.